Where are you?
Okay, hi everyone. This is Microworld Home 18. We're just doing a midweek test. We've had a lot of problem with our internet signal at the weekend, probably because there are thousands of people in Margate and it's very hot. So we're trying maybe a different time slot. So this is going to be an experimental show where we're just reconnecting a few bits and pieces and figuring out if our stream is strong enough. So we're going to do 2 hours. There will be a live performance from Julia at 5 o'clock in an hour's time. Apart from that, there will be this will be quite a stoppy-starty sort of show because we're testing splitting projections and things like that.
And I'm going to be doing audio, I'm going to do the live music, and we're also going to be experimenting with lenses as well. Okay,
so this is midweek Microworld, so take it or leave it. We don't know if we're going to put this live up on the show. We will if it's any good. If it's a technical nightmare, we might not. But we're testing for a new slot midweek.
But one of the things we've noticed already is that your wire for your sound is a little bit crunkly, isn't it?
Well, they both are. We're using 2 sound USB cards, one from either laptop now because Nicola's going to stream Julia. Pass that on to her.
Hooray!
Because why have I done that?
Because you wanted to be able to noodle with music yourself.
Yes, and it was getting a little bit complicated with the sort of multiple layers on top of each other, and I thought I'd pass that one over. I will try and connect to Ed. We couldn't connect to either of them last week, but that was probably because of the signal, if nothing else.
Yeah.
So visually today, it's going to be a complete pick and mix. We haven't. Nicola's got a bunch of lenses out.
And I've got the endoscope as well.
I'm going to continue doing some experiments in feedback. We've bought an extra table this week, so we've got a bit more space to work with. So I realised I was doing it completely the wrong way last week.
I mean, it means I can play sound as well. So you quite liked that Robot Love, didn't you? So if you want to
play that for a jaunty tune to start off with.
If you can move it, you can nudge my volume up.
Okay, you're up. I can't hear it. Here it comes. Okay. We're just fading out the audio there. These are various little snippets that we've made over the years, or people have sent us. It's David's
which
one.
one's that? Is it yours or?
I'll play that one later.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What I've set up on the right-hand screen is a feedback system, which is in line with what I've been experimenting with on my laptop, based on some work by Sam Meach from Manchester. So we are in a fairly dark room here, and there are lots of other stuff on the other walls, as you've seen. Even so, I've just been fiddling around, and we've got reasonable beginnings of something interesting. It's a feedback system, so it can be taken over by red or blue or green, which are the primary colours it always tries to sort of get to. But it is going through some kind of cycles. So basically the program is just looking at the wall that it's looking at itself, and there's a blur effect on there. So if I turn blur up to 1, it's the wrong way around, this slider. It's now in real time, or quick, it immediately changes based on what it sees, which is one effect, more kind of graphic, I suppose. And then blur slows down the speed at which it changes to what it's seeing. So rather than going immediately to the new colour, it gradates up to it. Is that a word, Nicola? Gradates?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got some nice effects there. We've got blue and red. I can see Nicola's projecting some red and blue around the room. Not so much green, but
that can be sorted.
if you whack a load of green up on one of these walls,
Yeah,
can you do that?
Yeah. I just.
We have some ambient green light. There's and basically the program it's got I can turn it around. That's probably the right way up. So it can look straight at itself, or it can look at itself with a bit of a turn. And Nicola's whacked the green up now, so it's now green is dominating, which is interesting. There's a threshold slider. I can kind of encourage it to be a bit redder. Got some yellow here on the edges. It's quite interesting.
Well, there's yellow behind you as well.
Uh-huh. So I'll be playing around with this today.
Very good. And where's your camera? Which one's your camera?
I'm working on this one, but I can look at the other walls.
So you should have a go maybe with these lenses as well,
Yeah.
to see what the impact is. Yeah, so last week, the thing that you're seeing on the wall at the back, so this thing, it was a wave program last week, but this week we think of it as worms. Because as well as fiddling with some lenses and feedback, we're also going to look at some beetles as well. So I'm going to use an endoscope, and I've got a collection of beetles, and I'm just going to pass my camera over them. I'm going to save that for when Julia's in the house, because I believe she has created a piece that she's going to be playing live, that will be all about little critters. We didn't actually put bugs in the playground this week, which would have been perfect.
I can wax some up on this wall if you want.
Why not? That's a torch-driven feedback.
Well, I'm struggling because, yeah,
I've got a very bright torch on
you
my
can see
mobile
feedback
phone.
with anything. Well, if there's not enough sliders in this, I'm probably going to add some more sliders to maybe increase the likelihood of different colours.
So am I creating that green?
It's better when it's got the border on. Well, maybe it's not better, it's just easier to understand what's going where. You can change the scale, of course, that's quite important for feedback. And now it's gone. Oh, what are those? Oh, those. Let's
Well,
do this. Yeah.
Masses of us. I just have that scent to build with that.
So let's put some.
So what music is this then?
One of David's.
Ah, oh yeah, really. Martin, that's spinning.
It's a bit fast, isn't it? So but it's not feedback. It's just it's the same program. It's just looking at another wall and rotating what it sees. But if you put it on itself, absolutely nothing happens. There you go. So it's interesting, yeah. So I guess with rotation, you're going to need to find the dead centre of the screen. It doesn't. It's saying so fast. It just fades away quickly. My thinking was that it would be interesting, but it's not. My thinking was.
Well, yeah, but it's a work in progress.
Well, it's nothing at the minute. I think I need like a crosshair or something, so this finds the dead centre more easily. It's slightly awkward to find. There we go. That's too fast. I've got a way too big a threshold on it. And speed.
That looks molten. That's kind of how I feel. It's so warm in here.
Yeah.
Got a lot of kit running.
I'm going to change the speed. I mean, change it to 0.1. I'm coding this in processing. It's very quick to change something, restart and have a look. Slightly scruffy from your end, but alright.
So what have you done?
I just dropped the speed. I can see it's coming. It's catching something over on your side, something blue on the screen. It's not very interesting. You can change to something else.
Behind you.
What?
Yeah, I've whacked them up so you can see.
I think it's happier when threshold's lower. Threshold's just the colour below which it decides either that's going to be all red or not red at all.
Well, this is the whole business of, tiny, tiny differences, isn't it? You just tweak it and then you lose it,
Sometimes
Nice.
I'm not doing anything now, it's slowly changing. It's not rotating. I'm going to press S. See what happens. It gets a bit confused, doesn't it? Make it rotate much more slowly. Chuck some red back in. Increase the threshold. Make it blur more. I mean, feedback's just a constant trial and error. No. There's quite a big crackling sort of buzzing noise, I think, that's coming through this sound card.
Our new system. Well, we've got lots of cables, haven't we? I think we're going to have to tidy them up a bit, so there may be interference from just so
I
many
guess is
cables
that what audio interference sounds like? Could be. You're not playing anything on yours, where's mine?
No.
This one. If I move this around, does it change anything? It doesn't feel like, it doesn't sound like feedback, it sounds like interference. Feedback's more kind of wormy type sound.
Are any of your cables on extension cables?
Most of them are.
No, the audio
Rumours.
The audio one.
The audio is coming through this. It's a newish cable.
There
I haven't
might-
heard this noise before because I
No.
usually use your one,
Yeah.
which is the newer one. If you play something on yours, I'll turn.
Okay.
I'll stop mine. See if we can hear this same. Oh. I mean, yours is on all the time, so there's no doesn't sound like there's any interference coming off yours. It's definitely coming from mine.
Don't know what this is.
I could plug it. I could take it out of this one and plug it into this one because maybe having two audio on one is a bad idea.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds nice. clearer. I think it's because we had two audio signals going through one USB hub. I just played dummies on top. Was that a good choice? Oh, because I've unplugged it, it's lost it.
We'll try it again. I mean, this is a little bit distorted.
It's interesting. So I can't find it at all. No wonder there's no noise. That's just the distortion is just the bleed. It's just too loud your end.
No, I haven't got it too loud, but it's just, I think it's actually slightly distorted.
Yeah, but if you drop your end, and then I can up this end, so it's clearer.
Yeah.
So you need to drop yours very low. Okay, well, looks like you're in charge of all the audio, Nicola.
Oh my god. The responsibility. Right, come on. Let's do some more.
Chop chop.
Yeah. Well, we seem to have our room looks very similar. We watched an episode 5, didn't we, a little while back,
Yeah, but
a few days ago.
I'm more concerned about the stream is smooth, which it is.
It's true, it's a test. Today.
Sort of clarifying. What do you think to me starting? Should I turn my audio off?
Yeah.
Snowball.
Yes.
No, stopping and starting on that wall. It looks a bit clunky, doesn't it?
It just floods everything. Put up something now that's going to stay up there.
Just froze the whole room, doesn't it? And you can't see the code anyway, so it's not really, it's no use.
No,
as a
we
demo.
will do a link from your laptop to
The
OBS.
full screen.
No, what we'll do is we'll actually take a line in, use the new game cards to take a HDMI signal, USB, and feed it into when you've got your new socket.
So, yeah.
Right, next.
How would you see the code though?
No, you actually have your computer on one of the screens in OBS. Do you not understand?
But isn't it the same as this?
No, because it would actually be looking at your desktop screen on the window. It's called display capture.
No, I understand that tech, but effectively it'll just be a wall with code on it, which you can't read.
Can you read your desktop? Imagine that desktop captured in OBS.
Oh, you think it'll be better than the webcams? Be sharper, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be your desktop. It'll be what you can see now.
Yeah.
If I run the video, it's the quality that the video is. So if we can get the gaming card from your laptop into OBS, it will do your desktop.
So should I try that?
Not now, no, because we'd have to create a new scene where you need to get your gaming card.
Okay.
And then, anyway, let's do something. Let us do something. So what program are you going to run?
I'm happy to carry on playing with this.
It's kind of a bit boring. I mean, well,
I'll just play around. If you get something good, just shout out. talk. What should I
Talk,
talk
Tim,
about?
talk. Well, just isn't this gorgeous, actually?
Parts of it,
So,
right?
you know, you've created a sun. We're creating a hot environment.
No, that's what I
already
was
hot.
doing. I was doing
Getting
something.
ready for some beetles coming up soon. So these lens experiments. So basically, I'm just using. If I just show you this. This is a lens. I'm showing you on the camera that Tim hasn't noticed yet.
I can see it there, but I'm not convinced.
You got, what are you talking about? What camera are you talking about? Can you see me holding the lens?
I couldn't see it making much difference to what I was doing.
No, can you see this lens?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
What camera can you see that lens on?
The middle one, fisheye. Did you turn the thingy on, 360 on? I got another one there, Nicola. What's that?
Tim hasn't
doing?
noticed.
So that's good.
It's a new Logitech camera.
Where'd you get that from?
Hooray!
You bought one?
I bought one. It
How
was
much did you pay for that?
A
A
snip.
snippet, 60 quid or whatever.
60 quid special. Just because it had a blemish on it and I can't see the blemish. Anyway, I'm
scratch.
using these lenses. Yeah,
Well
so
done.
we've got a beautiful, you may have noticed, anyone who's watched this before will know that the middle cameras tended to be a bit dodge. Well now, the camera's in a better position, which means I can show you this lens.
So if
And
you
I
had a
can
bag
show
of
you
noodles you
how
wanted
it-
to show people, you could pull that out.
For example. So I'm just waving this lens in front of my camera that's feeding into wall 2, which is the middle wall, and it's affecting everything on wall 1 as well, because
What happens
that
if you
camera's
just
looking at it.
wave the webcam around?
Well, it'll move it.
It's a different
obviously.
type of effect. I mean,
Yeah,
the trouble
yeah.
with these,
This is more, lenses give
These
a
are-
more watery
what were
quality.
these lenses for anyway?
Well, these are from enlargers. So I've got a selection of lenses. So if
They use
anyone's
them
been
in
inside
photographic, yeah.
a photographic enlarger, they use lenses. It's like the opposite. Well, it's just like a camera using lenses. It's to allow for
They're quite heavy, or
zooming in. And,
difficult to manoeuvre.
beautifully ground. Anyway, so that's pretty good. So yeah, I'm in charge of the music. Sorry.
Probably the queen of webcams.
I couldn't believe it. You know, we've been talking about, we're waiting for some cameras to come back to us from another exhibition, but anyway, the point is, I thought
And the other side of the world.
our camera 2 on Saturday started twitching, do you remember?
Yes.
And I thought, this isn't any good. I thought, I need to sort
Kept
this
that
out.
quiet.
I did.
60 quid is good for a Logitech.
I did. I
They're a
did
Logitech
keep it quiet.
C920, which
But
are
the thing is, when I saw
Rolls
it,
Royce of
when I
webcams.
saw it, I thought, I can't not buy this. And then I thought to myself, okay, I said to Tim
Will Tim
yesterday,
notice? No.
I
didn't.
said to Tim yesterday, I've got a parcel coming because I was going out.
Yeah, oh, good.
So, yeah, so really happy about that. So, yeah, new camera, new quality in the middle.
Are these are all quite easy to set up as well, colour-wise?
Well, I
Quick.
didn't actually spend that much time setting them up. I
Colour
just,
looks lush.
yeah, it does look good, doesn't it? I think camera 3, which is Tim's feedback is on wall 3, so we call that camera 3. That one I think perhaps needs to be a bit more contrasted. I think it's just because it looks a bit different. You know, I'm really pleased with that. So
one.
yeah, a little bit of promotion maybe for Logitech.
So that's taken us
rather
20 weeks to get the right number of webcams in the spaces.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean,
Are these all the same now as well then?
yeah, they're all
That's good.
Microsoft.
So that stands a bit
It
shorter.
also means that we've got 2 Logitechs of different makes, you know, different.
Different types of Logitech.
Yeah,
we
gosh,
have
my brain's
a
cooked.
bunch more in the box.
We've got a 620, and I can't remember what the other one is. We've got Tubby.
Fantastic.
And so, if we wanted to at any point swap over the Microsoft cameras for a higher resolution, we could.
So Tubby's been relegated to the bin. Not the bin, but the cupboard. So, shall I keep trying to do this audio?
No, because Julia's going to be doing some sound in a minute. So I'm actually going to start the What time is it? I'm actually going to start the stream up. Julia's going to be playing it in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then we'll feed it in. So I'm just answering a text message. Right, okay, so I'm going to start the stream, and then I'm going to start using a different, I'm going to do a different camera setup, okay?
Okay, I'm going to make this sun sort of rotate. The sun is, the yellow sun is, the idea is that it feeds the feedback, I suppose. Let's put it on to, let me close the camera.
Okay, so I've got the stream running.
Nice and sharp.
So basically, Julia, when you're ready, you can start streaming. It's just running. And in the meantime, I'm going to set up. I had an alarm to come on to remind me to link up. Beautiful. Do you like my wave as well?
Yeah, you change the outline.
Yeah. I had lots of settings in it which I didn't use last week. So, and you can change the actual wavelength and the speed and all sorts of things. Right. So, gosh, too many cables. Right. Okay. So. I can hear Julia feeding into the space. It's almost professionally. Yes, so I need to. Which one's that? This one. Okay, right. So I'm just going to start that feed up. Okay, so this is Julia Schauerman streaming live into the space from Sheffield, and her piece is called Wings, Legs, Mouths. Well, well, well. I have to say, wow. Julia, that's the first time I've really interacted with you. So I was listening to the scuttlings and the flutterings, and it's completely inspiring the way I was working. So yeah, that was brilliant. And yeah, magical. I love insects, as you may have noticed. I mean, this is a collection of dead insects. I obviously prefer them when they're alive. And I've got an endoscope, the sort of thing that you put down someone's throat to investigate what's going on, or up somewhere else. And I've got a torch, because I was running out of light.
I'm trying to get a camera on you.
Yeah, well, so I can do it on my new camera too. If I come in here...
You're not on two.
Oh, put it on two. There's my box of insects. I've got another two. Let's hope they're responsibly sourced, as in dead on a jungle floor or something. And I've got a torch. And if you can hold that, Tim.
They're responsibly sourced from eBay, off eBay.
And this is the endoscope. And when it's low light, you'll see that the lights, well, obviously when you're sending it down into someone's tummy, you want to have some illumination.
Oh, how does it do that? Can you,
So when we used it in the sea, because we did some filming in the sea for the Lost Aquarium, the lights didn't come on, so it's obviously got a little sensor in there.
Or is it taking power from
it's
whatever
USB.
you plugged it into?
Yeah, it's USB.
So if you had it plugged into what, your phone?
But I certainly, unless it was just the light level so low, when we were in daylight, the lights weren't on. So anyway,
Good.
It's like a horror film. I love lights, I love lenses, I love insects, so that satisfied a lot of things. So thank you, Julia, that was wonderful. And,
could Julia create that as a continuous sound scape?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, she could with my help, but it depends how complicated
well,
these samples
we've talked in the past about having libraries of sounds. Julia's created libraries of sounds for us, for Mother and for Skinwall.
Yeah, but they were quite short clips, so I imagine these are a bit longer, and she's probably putting through them a bunch of filters.
Shall we have a chat?
We should try and figure it out, because it'd be great to just have...
I can get her on the phone now.
Insect scape.
Okay, so let's just give Julia a call and find out what she did. I'll put her on speaker. Hello. Hi Julia, hi. So we just wanted to learn a little bit about what you did and then just have a chat with you about what we might do. Okay, so tell us a bit about what you did.
Okay, so what I did was I wanted to get some sounds of insects, so I went onto this site, Free Sound, which has got a massive catalogue of sounds, because obviously there's certain things I knew I would be able to get hold of in short notice, as there's cicadas and grasshoppers. That was a spider. I think it's a trapdoor spider, and also that was the sound that it makes as well, that sort of shrieking. There were beetles in there. There was larvae munching.
What are the samples in it?
Yeah, Tim's just wanting to know, how long were the samples roughly?
They varied. There were some that were around 5 minutes, and there were others like 30 seconds, which I coupled together. So I got different selections of grasshoppers and cicadas and put those together. It's a real selection. So I do recommend Free Sounds. It's a nice little site, and you can get all sorts of things. That's where I got the sounds for the air traffic control and the astronauts and cosmonauts. So
wonderful. Yeah. No, it's really super.
So there's all sorts of things, munching, walking around. There were ants in trees or marching, and
wonderful. So probably using quite sophisticated recording devices to get that level of sound.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did talk about contact microphones being stuck down. I did have to edit out some clicks and noises, and someone obviously dropped their microphone at one point. But also within there was church organ sound, because I thought the air of the pipes could go for with the wings, that vibration.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of pull stretching, my favourite effect.
Yeah.
That granulation.
But that's done. Is that done live, Julia, or that's done before?
Did you do the pull stretching before, or what, live?
Before, because it does take a while to actually process. There is the pull stretch, the software pull stretch on its own. You can actually do that live, but I would have to have that running alongside what I'm doing in Audacity. But I enjoyed it, and it was nice. I was interacting with the visuals as well.
Wonderful.
There was probably a little bit of a delay, maybe about 20. Well, no, maybe 10 seconds or something. I'm not sure. It was just a slight delay, but it wasn't a major problem, because of course each piece was being played for a length of time anyway.
Sure. No, I mean, so just so you know, we have a 30-second delay on the actual feed. But it worked great. I mean, you're feeding back on what I'm doing. I'm feeding back on what you're doing. So wonderful. And Tim was actually interested in maybe creating a library of sounds. So it's something we'll talk about.
How we could make that a generative piece. So there's a bunch of stuff that can be played, but the way that you're mixing it, can that be automated or
no, that sounds good. Because
randomized and stuff like that?
basically, if I just see the tracks I had that were insect related, I had chatting. I had flying, foraging, munching, buzzing.
So categories of sound that we could actually then load up on the fly, if you excuse the pun.
I'd like to just hear that for 24 hours or something. Just and then somehow responding directly to the light changes in the space or fluctuations.
Yeah, wonderful, Julia. Anyway, really good. Sorry, when I started you off, I hadn't got my camera set up, so there was a bit of black and everything in the beginning. But I dove straight in, and I think I was really happy with it. So thanks, Julia, and looking forward to doing this again. So Microworld at Home is going to be happening every Wednesday now, but from the 26th of August. So cheers, Julia. Okay, until next time. Bye. Cheers. Bye. Great one. So do you notice?
So why is this? What is happening?
This.
So but where's the webcam that's looking?
The webcam's here.
You can't with that little thing changing the whole space.
Yeah.
Surely.
This webcam.
Can you turn your phone off?
I have. This webcam is looking at that screen. Okay. So I've got
that's brilliant. Okay,
going into.
How's this?
Okay,
so this can just be whizzed around or anything, yeah?
Yeah. So it's quite a long cable. So I've got it going under the table, and my headphones are caught. So hold up.
So this is a pinhole, basically, isn't it? It's cool. When you're just drawing lines with the.
It's not a pinhole, but it's a very small lens, so I guess it's got infinite focus.
Yeah, but look at these sort of effects. We never do anything like this.
This
is not much wiggling. This can be done mechanically, not by me.
Sure. Look behind you.
Well, I'm sitting on the triple screen. I like it when it's. This is good now. Huh?
It is. Right.
I mean, I guess it's just a webcam, but why is it better than just the webcam looking at the wall? Give me that webcam.
I'll bring up that word that I like to use.
Plasma.
There's something beguiling about plasma. I mean, that's
the visual quality of that. I mean, this is cool, but it's staying in pretty much in the RGB. Yeah.
But also that
spectrum.
Is a shonky little Microsoft camera of 640.
Actually, you can do it with this.
Oh, look.
Yeah, I'm trying to get these lines of what I like. I'm interested. You need to have a very particular bright source and then just move with it.
Yeah. Let's put it onto for fisheye. That's quite a nice one.
I mean, it's a more kind of ravey type feel.
But it worked really. The endoscope worked really nicely in the box of bugs.
Yes, it's great for looking at detailed things. Although it's a bit soft
It
focused.
reminded, I was reminded of Stan Brackage's work. He did a film called Mothlight.
Right.
No, well, I mean that was a labour of love in a time. That was using celluloid, but it's just this. It had a microscope quality to it, I suppose.
Shouldn't that be feeding back on itself?
No, because that is.
You'll be able to create video feedback there just by. Yeah. No, I don't know. I get confused.
Somewhere. That is feedback. So that's the endoscope looking at itself. See? Feedback.
Yeah. So that's a sort of analog type feedback. Well, if you just so you've got that, and that's just about detailed little angles.
And then otherwise it's.
And then I'm sort of trying to recreate the same thing using.
But this camera otherwise is picking up what the
code.
camera sees.
Yeah. So that could just be sort of dangling anywhere in the space.
Yeah, electric. Look at that. And we're multiplied.
So if you just plot that, so I mean, if you fix that, I'm still quite interested in why this is going through such cycles. But I guess it's just that that's looking at that wall's looking at that wall. What's that wall looking at? That's wall number 2.
We've got a camera looking at me.
It's looking at itself a bit.
I'm not there. This is looking at you.
Is that 4, the one that's over by the toe?
That's 4, yeah.
Okay.
Marvellous.
So what do you want to? Can you put some? Do you have any other music on your machine?
I do.
I can play some on here. It's a bit scrunchy.
Okay, no, that's all right.
What have you got? Oh, you got loads of those old bits and
So
bobs.
let's put the camera back. So that's goodbye endoscope for the minute. And let's just make that smaller.
This is Microworld at Home week 18. It's a.
Move. So if you're going
I
on
go to
there,
2G.
Okay, so you're going to 2G,
Yep.
not Vodafone.
I'm on Vodafone. Been on
Okay.
Vodafone the whole time.
And why isn't 5G move better?
Yes, but 2G is now green.
Okay, so I've switched to Vodafone. Okay. So I went into Fear.
So hopefully on the stream,
Yeah,
all
well,
that will
I
have
can
happened
see
is it'll have stopped and then it should pick itself back up.
Yeah.
Hopefully it didn't stop all the way through that Julia stuff, but we don't know. I've only just noticed the.
Oh yeah,
the reds.
Vodafone's really unhappy, so I'm going to go on Netgear 23. Netgear.
We've mainly been using a portable Wi-Fi, and it's been fine all year, or the last about 15 weeks, and then about 3 weeks ago it just started struggling, and we think it's because there's loads of people on the beach,
Yeah,
and
so
they're all on their
streaming.
phones. We're all essentially sharing a signal.
I wonder if we could create an alarm when that goes red.
Well, I bet there's a plug-in that you could get that's.
Well, it'll be interesting to see when that started.
What I would like to see, and there is such a thing, but it's not kind of free. It's something called something like internet spreading, where you have 3 different sources, and it just takes the best of all of them.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a free service. I think you have to get some special internet to do that.
Right, so I've got some sounds.
See, now there's nothing flashing between the screens, even though we're quite bright colours on some of them. So I guess it doesn't. Maybe it's not that interesting. It just seems sometimes we get into setups where a lot of stuff feeds back.
Okay, I've got a piece of music playing. It says it's 5 minutes long.
It's playing now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Starting it.
Put it to a start. I'll bring it in. Okay.
Okay. Tell me if you want me to turn it up.
OBS. Oh, it's a new notice I've just noticed. Once you've stopped OBS, stop streaming on YouTube! Exclamation mark. I only play music for a good reason, Nicola. That's what I was trying to find.
Yeah, we write messages to
Got
ourselves.
various reminders to ourselves in the room.
That's looking
Apart from this
pretty
huge
good, I like
brightness on my screen, because I'm trying to think of anything which is
that. Yes. That's
brightening the whole
really
room.
nice.
So this piece is, these are two pieces were running. One is cranes and one was little people, both of which are in development. And both of which will be about self-reproduction. So that's a system building a copy of itself, and then the copy can build another copy of itself, and so on and so forth.
The dream of self-replication machines.
Yes. It's one of the central and juicier parts of artificial life research, and something we haven't particularly done in our works. We've tended to avoid any kind of complicated coding systems. Instead, we create things which may look complicated, but actually they're not that complicated behind the scenes. And it's just surprising how complicated behaviour you can get out of very, very simple rules. So we tend to just use bits and pieces that we pluck from here, there and everywhere, and add those into our works. But now we're starting to explore slightly more complicated systems. It's lovely, Nicola, isn't it? It's nothing. This is Connect like this. If you had a Connect figurine with that,
Yeah.
we're going to have to look at developing lots more pieces with the Connect, because Connect is a full body interaction as opposed to touch screens, which we've been focusing on in the last year or so. Touch screens are a great way to transmit a whole lot of snot from one kid to another, or COVID from one person to another. So some venues have been asking us, can we produce some more COVID
So
safe
did you
works?
see the
This is
feedback
great.
on
I love
this?
this.
Okay, so watch this. I'm just going to move it a small amount,
Parallax, yeah.
and then it sets it all off.
Does it go on its own, or are you wobbling that?
I'm
Yeah.
not doing anything there.
Yeah. It's
So
just
then
great.
to stop it, I just put my hand in front of the camera.
Yeah. Goes back to where it was.
Stabilises it.
See, in the Microworlds that we do, these big shows, we have lots of screens, but never, well, not usually in as close proximity as we've got in this room. We're in a 4 metre square space here, with 4 big projections, or what, 4 metre across and about 2.5 metre up. And as soon as you put something on one wall, the light pings across onto the other wall. So we're getting some really fruity cascades.
I'll do that again.
So Nicola's just nudged the camera about 1 centimetre to the right, and
I'll
she
just
stops
wiggle
nudging it, and it goes into a strobing pattern on its own. This would be fantastic in Microworlds. We've had bits of things like this.
Oh, let's put a lens. So I'll stop it.
But in the future, we want more things like this. So we're going to start
And this is now just using one of my enlarger lenses.
offering more pieces. Now the projectors are cheaper as well. You can get a 4,000 lumen projector now for about, well, under £1,000. Sometimes way under it. So pack the space with loads of stuff. Chuck people in the middle. Wherever they go, they'll create all these effects. I mean, it's kind of like it's going directly back to the happenings of the expanded cinema of the 70s,
Absolutely.
which is going to be a theme, isn't it?
Yeah. So Youngblood.
And we just already done it. We've done it, but we're not.
Well,
talked about
but
it.
this is our Wednesday test, Microworld, because it was
I think we should
experimental
whack this up
theme.
on.
We're going to put it up, but I don't see there's any harm in us revisiting expanded cinema because it's a really important area to us. I mean, I studied 16mm film, but I was lucky enough to study in it was a long time ago, in the 80s at North East London Poly, and that was it had links with the Filmmakers Co-op, and so it was just common practice to think about the projected image off the screen.
It's also how we met.
Installations, but I mean, I was making looping installations with 16mm film, and creating loops, running them through projectors.
So was I, Nicola?
Really?
Not
Yeah,
16mm.
okay. No, you were doing it with computers, so you're doing it a little
No,
bit later.
8mm. When I was at
8mm.
college.
Okay. I mean, we were able to process ours, which was amazing as well, but it gave me a love for film, which I'll never lose, but ultimately doing things digitally, there were just too many
Just has more possibilities,
benefits,
really.
yeah. But we're going to look at the Whitney brothers and family and the way they experimented with film.
The trouble is, none of that stuff is open source, or Creative Commons.
No, but we just try and replicate it. We
It'd
watched
be
it
great
by the other
to
day
present
with
some
Stargate.
films by these people which really inspired us in the early days, but we can't because they're all
Well, some of them are alive.
They're
I mean,
all,
Stan Brakhage
important-
is still alive.
important.
No, not Stan Brakhage. I'm talking about Malcolm
documents.
McGrath.
Yeah, but we're not going to. Well, it's text, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's too.
But
They're all probably very old and stuff, and not really
they'll be
particularly
up for it.
contactable.
Yeah, no, that's true. We tried with Myron Kruger for a while, but I think he gave up. Didn't
I
he?
feel like he's still alive. No, I've never found a contact.
Yeah, that's a lens bringing red light into the space. So I'm a big fan of glass.
So expanded cinema is just we're going to do a whole episode on expanded cinema. So we'll.
And we met, so Tim was talking about when Genetic Move first got
We
together.
don't do it now because
We'll tell you all about it.
Yeah.
It involves exploding cinema on one of our regular
So
collaborators.
will that be a whole lens-based show, or would you want any digital stuff? Obviously, some digital stuff. But
It's digital by the nature of how we're doing it, but
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see how we get on. But I might have to go at liquid light. Simon Ray, I believe, did some liquid light stuff. So that'll be
this new
exciting.
webcam I think needs to go up a bit higher. It's quite tably, that shot.
Yeah.
It's okay, but
I
doesn't match the others.
snuck it in. Oh my gosh, I haven't done any recording on this. I should do a little bit, shouldn't I?
We'll do it with that thing that you're.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this the 360?
Yeah. So this is my 360 camera, and I'm going to edit some of that into the today's thing.
I wonder why the cranes have stopped. Oh well, they're not fully developed, so some of these pieces do crash occasionally because we haven't fully debugged them yet. If I press K, does that kill them? Spacebar?
I hope not. I'm working
Oh,
on it.
it looks like it's actually frozen the program, which happens sometimes.
Well, yeah, as in crash the program.
Yes, they're works in development. They're not fully finished gallery pieces yet. We run things through. It takes months to test these pieces and then come back to them, try something else
So
out.
Tim, why don't you use your camera as well, or are you using it? Is it feeding
Number
into
2.
that?
Sometimes you just get confused. There's so many cameras, and you just grab anything, the nearest one. I don't feel like I'm doing any effect on any of that. This one,
Yeah.
that was it. The RGB is.
Very sort of.
I mean, we started out with RGB, and I haven't got anything going on.
There's
on
something
this
quite
one.
old-fashioned about it, isn't there? Even though it's digital.
If I.
There were lots of filmmakers who did colour field films with 16mm and 35mm back in the day at Cal Arts.
What's colour field mean?
Well, you know Barnett Newman colour field paintings? So these were experiments just working with chemicals. It was formalist or materialist filmmaking. And I remember seeing a film, I can't remember the director, but one of the lecturers at Cal Arts, and it's gorgeous because it was just slowly shifting colours. working through the spectrum.
Well, we're thinking of doing a week on slow motion or slow-mo.
Slow-mo life, yeah.
There are some, they've just discovered some bacteria.
Well, they haven't discovered them, it's just they're looking at them more carefully now, but it's bacteria that live in very, very cold regions of the world that may divide or multicellular organisms, but they divide over minutes or days or months. Is that the ones you were talking about?
No, different one.
What were you?
What I'm talking about divides over millions of years. It's like 100 million year old live bacteria.
Oh my god.
It's the slowest life form they've ever found.
Okay.
And there's some contention about whether it's what they say it is. It's possible it's been contaminated. But yeah, it's something that's been alive for hundreds of millions of years, bacteria.
And where did they find it?
In a hole in the ground. I don't know if it's Antarctica, but somewhere away from human or any life.
Is it the Volta? What is the big lake in Russia that is
Volga? I don't know. See, look at it now. It's going. What I would like is to just have a kind of a big button that just slows it down. And I can't. We're not doing anything now. We're just sitting chatting.
It's me with my arms in the air, doing nothing. Do you want to have some music?
Put my feet up. Yes, please. It's supposed to be providing DJ Nicola.
Yeah, but am I on? I'll just bring it in.
Yes, you're on. So let's try and slow this down. It's really gently. I'm going to turn the slow down.
Okay, 6 minutes to go. So this is beautiful. It's a real rainbow cycle. So it's just RGB and you're getting CMYK. You can see it, can't you? I guess you've got cyan in your crane, have you?
So complicated. It's got a cycle, you could time it, couldn't you? It's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 seconds to go bright full screen. I mean, do you think if you had this type of stuff in an exhibition, it's just going to be too confusing? You need to have some kind of level of.
Yeah.
This is great for a, party or festival type event.
Sure. I mean, in the ceiling or in a small box.
I mean, what's going to happen if you give this much sort of flexibility in visuals? It's just going to get full white at some point. But then no, you could just get the programs to say. If I'm full white, turn off.
Well, you've got that in the program already.
Some individual bits do that. I haven't got it as an overall thing within the program.
I've got it in my video though. So if I
Have you got it in the video?
increase the low, oh no, not that one. Maybe the high one.
No, but some of the creatures do that. Like for example, the cockatoo has got stuff that if it gets too many colours on its chromatophores, it stops. It makes it harder for it to get more input. And then it has to kind of fade down. It's like a muscle or something. It gets tired of one particular setting.
So I'm going to try and.
It's like appetites. It's like you eat your dinner and then you get full up at some point. You stop eating.
Yeah.
So there's a feedback system. And
I thought your high did that. Is it the low does that?
Low and high just crops the top and the bottom. So that will. You want to low and high it.
Oh, I see. When you say crop the bottom.
Anything below a certain
threshold
will go black, and anything above it. So now you've got very formal shapes.
Yeah.
It's nice, isn't it?
So I've got one on 1560. What have you got? Yours on?
On low and high, I can't really read them.
That's nice.
This one, blur off this one. This will get sharper. Yeah. We've done it. This is expanded cinema, Nicola. We've done the show already. And then we'll try and do it next. We'll try and do it next time, and it'll just all fall over. Have you got the theme tune on your laptop?
I think I have.
Well, there's 3 minutes to go, so put it up in a couple of minutes. So yeah, we're going to. Well, watch our social media because we think we'll probably put this video.
Well, if they're watching it, they'll know, won't they?
Well, it's not. It's private, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's unlisted. Someone
so
may
no
be
one's going
watching
to
it now.
randomly watching it.
No, sure.
My mum might be.
But the point is, if they watch it
nice.
on YouTube, it means they don't need to know that we're uploading it because they're watching it. You're giving information. You're in a loop, Tim.
Oh dear.
You're in a time loop. Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking out loud.
Theme, time travel.
I Am a Strange Loop,
which
is the title of Hofstadter's book.
However,
feedback.
More importantly, we are looking to actually putting our programme on every Wednesday now, but from the 26th of August, because we get a stronger stream. We did have to change it 2/3 of the way through, but it hasn't fallen over. We haven't fallen over. Sounds good.
The Vodafone, so we'll be wary of that.
Okay.
Okay, so just play out on the theme music. Thanks for listening and watching, and look out for the next one.